And now we are going to go into the reflection question for myth number 1, and it says, what are your marriage mindsets? These are the things that you need to discuss about with your intended. What are your marriage mindsets? Now we've looked about we've just seen how Niall and Kathy thinks and sees marriage. So every person brings a mindset to marriage. What you are saying, thinking, and believing when it comes to tying the knots, it is your attitude towards marriage in general. That is what you are, that is what your mindset is, right? Recent research reveals that you have one of 5 specific mindsets: resolute, rational, romantic, restless, and reluctant. If you are using the Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts assessment, you discover each of your individual marriage mindsets, and most importantly, how they mesh in your personalized reports. These are for the people that want to pay for it. So let's jump into the one of the subheading of the myth number 1, called unspoken rules. These are the things that nobody ever discusses about, and they expect their intended or their other half to just know automatically, like Kathy and Now, right? Unspoken rules. Everyone lives by a set of rules that is rarely spoken but always known. Needless to say, unspoken rules become more vocal when our spouse breaks them. This became painfully obvious to us when we visited our families for the first time as a married couple. Yeah, those things that you expect your couple, your spouse to just know, the things that makes people in relationships say, "But I'm not going to read your mind," right? Let's go on. One Christmas, we flew from Los Angeles to Chicago to be with our families for the holidays. The first night was at that's Leslie's house. At my house, that is Leslie, the lady, right? As was my family's custom, I woke up early in the morning to squeeze in every possible minute with my family. Les, on the other hand, which is the husband, on the other hand, slept in. I interpreted Les's sleeping as avoidance and rejection and felt he did not value time with my family. It is embarrassing to me. I told Les, everyone is up and eating in the kitchen. Don't you want to be with us? Les, on the other hand, didn't understand my intensity. What did I do? He asked. I'm just catching up from my jet lag. I will come down after my shower, he said. As I found out later, Les expected a slower, easier pace during the holidays because that is the way it was at his house. In this incident, Les has broken a rule he didn't know existed. And I discovered a rule I had never put into words. Both of us felt misunderstood and frustrated. We both had our own ideas about what was acceptable, and it never occurred to either of us that our expectations would be so different. Each of us became irritated by the other's unspoken expectations and frustrated that the other did not live by the same rule. Since that first Christmas, we had learned to discuss our secret expectations and make our silent rules known. Your spouse or your partner is not going to read your mind. This book is saying that you have to discuss. Don't assume that the person should know what you're thinking. In as much as the person is your spouse and you spend so much time, and sometimes you might have some moments of telepathy, and you might read their thoughts, it doesn't mean that most of the time is accurate. You have to always ask to be sure. Since the first Christmas, we had learned to discuss our secrets. Okay. To keep little secrets. Okay. Well, okay. We have also helped the couples we counsel to become more aware of their own unspoken rules, to keep little problems from becoming big ones. Here is a sampling of the rules we have heard from other couples. Number 1, don't interrupt one another's work. When your spouse is working, that's not the time to bring up one question or start gisting them what they don't care about. Don't interrupt another's work. Always buy organic fruits and vegetables. You have to think about and discuss about how you want your diet to be. Don't ask for help unless you are desperate. This one is going to be hard. Oh. Downplay your success. Okay. Yeah. Always leave the butter on the counter, not in the fridge. Okay. Don't work too long or too hard. These rules are different for different people, right? You can also discuss with your partner or your spouse to know what works for the both of you. It doesn't have to be the same. Always celebrate birthdays in a big way. Okay. Never raise your voice. That one is very, very important. You always lead to other things. Don't talk about your body. That one. Don't talk about your body. Don't point out things that you don't like about yourself, or maybe flaws, or things that, maybe are you seeing the wrinkles or the aging spots or whatever, or are you not seeing that my nose is bent? The moment you point it out, your spouse will start seeing it, and you might not like it when they point it out for you. So do not talk about your body. Always be on time. That one is very important. Clean the kitchen before you go to bed. Very, very important to avoid cockroaches. Don't talk about your feelings. Don't talk about your feelings. Okay, this one is not going to be one of my rules. I talk about my feelings for a living. Always pay bills the day they arrive. Okay. Don't drive fast. Never buy desserts at a restaurant. That's don't talk about your feelings. It's actually going to be one of the hardest things, because I talk about my feelings for a living. Only use a credit card in an emergency. Okay, this one applies to abroad people. Don't buy expensive gifts. In the next one, we're going to be talking about a subheading titled Unconscious Rules. Let's go.